I know you said no rush, but hey bookies! Hi my lovely bookies! Hello, hello, hello! Let me see, let me scroll up and see what's first. So we all know this, everybody. Bengu, thank you for being the first customer. Always first, always. Triple, thank you for coming in second. Hello, my darling. Hello, Pookie. So, we have an agenda today. I will be working on my vision novel again because I have been putting it off. Oh, let me just change. I have been putting it off because, I didn't want to do it, and I thought that was a chore. But I'm back in that bag because I did write it down in my notebook that I want to finish it. I want to finish the script and then getting to like incorporating it. So this is just my biggest thing right now. I'm gonna put on my glasses because I'm getting a headache and I don't know why. Hello there, Queen. Hello there. I'm fine. I'm doing better than yesterday because last night, I shit you not, I wanted to throw up. And I was just like, Mama, I was like telling my mom, Mama, do you have any something like what we call it gravel? It's for like helping my stomach, like with nausea. She's like, yeah, I have one. And I took a gravel and another painkiller. And I went to bed. I don't think I ate anything before that. No, I didn't. And I was just knocked out. Yeah, it's just like I want to throw up, but I can't throw up. If you get that's the feeling I was getting. And I was just like, I can't do it. I can't. So I just went. And then after in my bed, I was like watching a friend stream a game that she voice acted in. Yes, a little bit on that later. And I was just watching her stream the game because I just wanted to relax. So I just had her on in the background while I was just like in my bed trying to fall asleep. And then when I woke up a little bit, I saw that she ended. I was like, okay, cool. I left. What the fuck? My stream died over on YouTube. What? What was that? Oh my god. Let me just check and see. But I am feeling a little bit better. I made soup for lunch. So, was it lunch? Yeah. When I woke up, it was like maybe. Yeah. When I woke up, it was maybe 9, 10. Good to hear you doing it. Yeah, I still have a little bit of. I'm still a little sick. Like, that's why I made the soup this morning. It was chicken soup. But how I make it, I was preparing the potatoes to actually make mashed potatoes because I felt like eating mashed potatoes. But I'm like, nah, I'm too sick for this shit. Not like sick, but I was feeling like still a little feeling out of the weather. So I was like, you know what? No, I will make chicken soup. And I asked my mom because today it's Lent. So I was like, hey, can I use this chicken? She's like, yeah, sure. Make it for you and my partner. And her partner. Which is good. We're both not feeling very well. We're not feeling good. So I'm like, okay, cool. I made the soup, had the soup, there's still some left over, and right now I have a cup of tea. Which is good to have on the hand. And I didn't even have my fan on for the whole day, which, if you all know, I live in a Caribbean country and it's hot as fuck. But during the day today, I just like, nah, I can't deal with this shit. So I just turned off my fan for the whole day and just relaxed. On my computer, I think most of the work I did on my computer was making a thumbnail. I made a thumbnail for a future stream. I still have to make a banner, so I'm like, you know what, I'll use my old YouTube channel that I have and use it for like game stuff, like posting my devlogs and shit. And yeah, good to hear them. But yeah, I'm just glad I'm feeling a little bit more better to stream. Because yesterday, before I canceled stream, I was like, I need to stream. I need to sneeze. Triple! I heard that on my computer. Wait! Oh my god, that's on my computer. Hold on. Let me just. I'm not used to that. Let me just edit this. Yes. I swear to God. Why is it? But it's not on my headphones. What the fuck? Triple. So wait, that triple. I swear to God. Wait. God damn it! I met my. Oh my God. At 5. How much it was it? Wait. How much was it? 500. Hold on. Let me just do some calculations because I'm a little bit of a girl. I'm just a girl. 500 bits USD. That is. Wait, did you just? Hold on. Thank you for the contribution. Yeah, it's $5. Bitch, you hit my goal for $20. I'm just gonna check now on my Twitch analytics. I swear to God. Oh God. Oh God, and I'm streaming too. Even worse here. Hold on. Let's see if it tells up everything. Yeah. Hold on. Thank you, Triple and what's your name? Pengu, for donating 2K each for the baking stream. For preference, when we're doing the baking stream, we're going to be making a cake. And as at that time of the month, it's going to be my mom's birthday month. Yeah, my mom's birthday month. Hold on. Y'all are going so fast for me right now. Hold on. This is why I love having this streamer chat. Because I can't see shit. I think I just earned $20. I just hold on. Hold on. Ooh. Hold on. Just a day. Okay. No, it's got to update after. Okay, well. That. Wait. Special cookie combo for Triple. That's so cute. Wait, did my computer freeze? No! My poodle falls. No! My poodle falls. My computer falls. Oh no! Oh. I see some light. Oh dear. Oh dear me. Here we go. And the light, see, it calls me. Yes. Thank you, Triple. Thank you. Today we'll be working on my game, and after we finish writing, we will play a game, which is not released yet, but it's called Fractured Universe. It is an RPG Maker game, but mixed with a little bit of gacha, and it's free. The demo is out now. I'm trying to, let me get the game link and I'll post it in chat so you guys can go download it. I will be downloading the game. Okay. No, this was from last night. Let's refresh. But yeah, let me track. Ooh, shit. Let me get the link for this game. I have it. Dangerous game. Gotcha. Damn, that brings back memories. Dangerous game. Yep. It's free. That's the thing. It's free. It is free. That's all y'all don't know. It's free. The demo is also free too. So we'll be playing a little bit of that. Oh, we finished. Oh, that means you read it to me. But yeah. Can I speak? Fuck. Something's overrated. Into base. Whoops. I need to pick my brother up. Hopefully we'll be back in time. Yeah. That's the problem. Go pick up your brother. Go. I will be right back. My mother is calling me. Okay, I'm back. Whew. Don't mind me. I'm back, bitches. Let me just... Whew. Let me open up the app that I need open. I don't want to get any messages. Who's DMing me? Oh. Ooh, that tea feels good. Okay. Tee-hee. Hi, this is what we're watching today. Oh god, the lag, I see it. Ooh, fuck. Okay. Okay, now we have that. Oh. Ooh. You're not starting as yet due to the app not opening. I don't know why. Oh my. I'm so sorry. We're waiting for the shit to open. Ugh, I hate when this happens. But yeah. Surprise, shorty. Okay, there we go. Ooh, I don't know how long I'll go for today, but I'm here now, bitch. Let me press play over here. Oh, ba.
8 victims in 3 years, all taken from the same darkened road. And for 40 years, these murders were a total mystery, until one piece of evidence blew the case wide open. These are the Colonial Parkway murders. Crime, conspiracy, cults, serial killers, and murder. All things that I love to consume, and I know you do too, you sick, twisted, beautiful, intellectually minded freak. I brought the second camera back, okay? A lot of you guys, I asked you guys a few videos ago if you wanted me to bring the second camera back, and it was overwhelmingly yes. That is why I watch it. Half of you were like, that is the only reason I watch it. So we're back. We're back with the second camera, alright? And if you don't like it, too bad. This is what we're doing right now, alright? I try not to use it too much to not, like, make it seem jarring, but it's there. If I just want to, like, leave the video for a minute and just talk to you guys, it's just a little break from reality, alright? So, but continue to tell me what you guys like and what you guys don't like. I always read the comments, but I digress. Anyway, today we are getting into an extremely interesting case that I knew nothing about a week ago, and now I'm about to educate you on it. So without further ado, let's unbuckle our seatbelts, go Mach 5 on the highway, slam on the brakes, and bust through this windshield into this crazy case together. Let's take a moment to talk about something that's very uncomfortable, and that's scam calls. Have you ever gotten a scam call where they said your name, knew your city, maybe even mentioned a family member, that's not a coincidence, and that's really freaky. But there are hundreds of data broker companies quietly buying and selling your personal information right now. Your home address, your phone number, your relatives' names, and you never agreed to any of it. But Incogni fixes that because they contact data brokers on your behalf, request your removal, and handle all the pushback for you. And with their new custom removals feature on the unlimited plan, you can literally point to any website where your personal info is visible, a people search site, anywhere, and their privacy agents take it down for you. It's a serious extra layer of protection. So go to incogni.com/callmechris and use code callmechris for 60% off an annual plan. It's so incredibly important to protect your information. I highly recommend you use Incogni, so go check it out today. And I'll leave the link and code in the description for you, because they can't harm you if they can't find you. Thank you to Incogni for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel, and let's get back to it. The Colonial Parkway is a 23-mile stretch through the heart of Virginia's historic triangle, and it connects Jamestown, Williamsburg, and Yorktown all along a winding road between the York River and the James River. Built between 1931 and 1957, the parkway was designed to be a meticulously crafted landscape, allowing visitors to experience nearly 400 years of American colonial history without any commercial advertising. And there are no gas stations along the length, no restaurants, no billboards. And the pavement itself is made of rounded river gravel that's set into concrete, giving the road an earth tone color with no painted lane markings. And several million people venture down this path, drawn by its natural beauty and historical significance. And during the day, it's a beautiful drive with forests on both sides of the road, and the York River appears through the gaps in the trees. But at night, it becomes something else entirely. There are no street lights to be found, and long stretches pass through dense woods where the towering trees block even the moonlight. And more than 50 pull-offs and overlooks can be found throughout. And in daylight, families use them to stretch their legs and take pictures. But after dark, these same spots become completely isolated, invisible from the main road. And National Park Service rangers are responsible for patrolling that route, but jurisdiction is complicated. And rangers handle traffic violations and have sole authority over certain sections. In James City, Williamsburg, and York County Police have jurisdiction within their respective limits, except in areas belonging to the Park Service. So state police can patrol most of the parkway, again, except for where the rangers have exclusive authority, and this is important. So put it all together, and you're left with a bunch of overlapping responsibilities that leave potential gaps in coverage. And a local to the area, Bill Thomas, described the situation bluntly. Quote, "Some longtime law enforcement people have said to me that it was like the Wild West out there at night because it was only patrolled every few hours. So people knew you could go there and basically be left alone, especially at night," unquote. And nearby young couples figured this out quickly. And while most unmarried people still lived with their parents, making privacy hard to find, the Colonial Parkway offered a solution. As one author noted, quote, "As soon as the sun set, these isolated dark corners became a popular place for young couples to park their cars and hook up," unquote. And during the 1980s, the parkway was known specifically as Gay Lovers Lane. And according to former homicide detective Steve Spingola, author of Predators on the Parkway, quote, "It was known not only by the homosexual community, but by the haters of the homosexual community," unquote. So the parkway has an eerie dual nature that people who lived nearby seem to understand naturally. And true crime author Blaine Pardoe, who would later co-author A Special Kind of Evil, The Colonial Parkway Serial Killings, observed, quote, "Having done the research for the book, I've since found that it's a creepy place to go to at night. It's lost its romance. There are alternative routes," unquote. And that reputation would prove well earned. So the surrounding Virginia Peninsula was heavily influenced by military and college towns in the mid-1980s, and Hampton Roads was, and still is, one of the most significant military spots in the United States, and the area supported a number of major bases. Naval Station Norfolk, the world's largest naval base, and Langley Air Force Base, Fort Monroe, Fort Eustis, the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, the oldest Navy shipyard in the country. So these bases brought in a steady stream of service members and their families to the area, creating a moving population where unfamiliar faces rarely drew attention. And alongside the military presence, the peninsula is home to a large student population. And the College of William and Mary in Williamsburg, founded in 1693, is the second oldest institution of higher education in the United States. And Christopher Newport College, though it wouldn't gain university status until 1992, is an anchor for the academic community. So young people were just everywhere, and the late-night culture was vibrant. But what didn't exist was any way to call for help, because this was before everyone had cell phones. And once a couple pulled off the main road and into one of the parkway's secluded areas, they were completely cut off from any means of communication. So if something went wrong, there was no one to call, and no way to reach them either. And former FBI Special Agent Maureen O'Connell later explained, quote, "Couples go to Lover's Lane because it's isolated. They're usually in a dark area. They're secluded, especially when they're there to engage fully with one another. All those things could feed the fantasy of a serial killer," unquote. So the combination of minimal patrols, complete isolation, multiple secluded pull-offs, no lighting, and a population of young people from nearby military bases and colleges created a swirl of conditions that would prove disastrous. Now, the parkway's darkness was perfectly suited for someone to take advantage of those who were unprepared. So Kathleen, or Kathy Marianne Thomas, was 17 years old in October of 1986. And her brother, Bill, would later describe her as stereotypically Irish in her physical features, pale skin, blue eyes, bright red hair, with a sweet and innocent look. And she had always been extremely smart and socially conscious, even from a young age. She was articulate and funny, with what he called a quick Irish wit. And Kathy had already accomplished more than most people twice her age. And in high school, she was an excellent athlete. She was a forward on the basketball team and competed in track and field. And she was just a natural leader. And when one friend from high school learned about Kathy wanting to go to the Naval Academy during their senior year, she immediately thought it was so Kathy because not only was it exceptional, it was groundbreaking. And even though that was an unusual thing for a woman at the time, that same friend recalled just how well-liked Kathy was. She was friends with nearly everyone, and in the classroom, she excelled. And she was a great writer with a natural aptitude for learning new languages even. So from 1977 to 1981, Kathy attended the United States Naval Academy as part of only the second class in the institution's history to admit women. And the Thomas family became the first father, son, and daughter trio to graduate from the academy. And while there, she played basketball and ran cross-country. And she would graduate and become an ensign in the U.S. Navy. And she even studied to become fluent in Russian at the height of the Cold War and was awarded Most Improved Russian Student at graduation. And she would be assigned to duty in Norfolk, Virginia, where she served abroad the L.Y. Spear as a logistics officer in charge of cranes and the movement of torpedoes. And she was one of the first women to become surface warfare officer qualified and earned a number of outstanding fitness reports. And several sailors said she was the best officer they ever served under. So just an extremely accomplished woman. But Kathy eventually would leave the Navy due to their general hostility towards homosexuals. As her brother would later describe, quote, "She had been very sorry to leave the Navy after 5 years, but she didn't feel that it was welcoming for her as a gay woman," unquote. So she would jump into a new career as a stockbroker. And it would be around this time that she would meet Rebecca, or Becky, Ann Dowski. Now, Becky Dowski was 21 years old, originally from Poughkeepsie, New York. And she majored in business management at the College of William and Mary, where she was in her senior year. Now, Becky held 2 jobs while pursuing her studies, and one at a daycare center looking after young children, and another as a clerk in the college's English department. And she would be described as a very talented musician and college student with a very promising future. And she was also creative, kind, and just loved music. So Kathy and Becky would start dating in the spring of 1986, which was not something easily discussed in the mid-1980s, as people's attitudes towards same-sex relationships at this time made openness hard, especially for someone with Kathy's military background. So the two kept their relationship private, seeking out places where they could spend time together without fear of judgment. And the Colonial Parkway was one of those places. So on the evening of October 9th, 1986, Becky was seen leaving the computer lab on the William and Mary campus sometime around 6:30 in the evening, because she and Kathy Colonial Parkway was one of those places. So on the evening of October 9th, 1986, Becky was seen leaving the computer lab on the William and Mary campus sometime around 6:30 in the evening, because she and Kathy had made plans to be together later that night. But after that, they would vanish, and their families would grow more and more worried as attempts to reach them failed, and no one would have any idea what had happened to them for 3 days. So on October 12th, 1986, a jogger spotted a white 1980 Honda Civic somewhere between 5:30 and 5:45 a.m., and the car would sit at the bottom of an embankment at the Cheatham Annex Overlook, and the location was about 7 miles east of Williamsburg. And the vehicle had gone off the road into thick brush, and it came to rest just a few feet from the 15-foot drop into the York River. So a state trooper responded and found both women inside, and both had been killed. Now, Kathy's body had been shoved into the rear hatchback area, and Becky was found in the back seat. And from what the ranger could see, both women looked to have been strangled with a rope, and also their throats had been cut. And evidence suggested Kathy had actually tried to fight back, because a clump of hair was found gripped between her fingers, and a piece of nautical line was tangled in her hair. And the killer had also doused the car's interior with diesel fuel, but the fire was never lit. And whether this was intentional or a failed attempt remains unclear, but several details pointed toward a methodical killer. And the driver's seat had been adjusted for someone much taller than Kathy, which possibly indicated the killer had driven the vehicle after taking control. But no blood was found in the surrounding area, and the murders likely occurred somewhere else before the bodies were transported, and both women remained fully dressed, so there was no indication of any SA. And their purses were also still inside the car with money and jewelry untouched, so robbery did not appear to be the motive. Investigators collected more than 100 fingerprints from inside and outside the Honda, though none matched anyone in law enforcement databases at the time. So they had no leads, and the case started to go cold. Then there was David Lee Nobling, who was 20 years old, and he lived in Hampton, Virginia, where he did landscaping and sales work, and his girlfriend had recently found out she was actually expecting a child. But David would meet another girl at that time named Robin Margaret Edwards, who was just 14 years old, and she would be described as fearless and just full of energy. But she had reportedly run away from home a number of times before, and according to one source, her experiences had left her aged beyond her years. But it was around this time where she actually seemed to start turning things around for herself. So on September 19th, 1987, David offered to drive his younger cousin, Jason, to see Robin for a date. So Jason was actually going out on a date with Robin that night. And the plan was to see the movie Dragnet, and David's brother Michael came along as well. However, when they arrived, the movie was sold out. So the group went to an arcade instead. And at around 10 p.m. that night, they brought Robin back to her parents' house in Newport News. And Robin's mother, Bonnie Dodson, remembered their last conversation. Quote, "I told her that she had to be home by 11, and she called me about a quarter after 11 and let me know that she was home safe," unquote. But Robin did not stay home, and she actually slipped out later that night to meet up with David again, this time alone. And together, they drove to Ragged Island Wildlife Refuge. And that area sits about 30 miles from the Colonial Parkway along the James River. And like the parkway overlooks, it was a secluded location. But unfortunately, neither of them would ever be seen alive again. So 2 days later, on September 21st, a sheriff's deputy patrolling Ragged Island found David's Ford Ranger pickup. And the truck appeared abandoned, and the doors were closed but not locked. And the window on the driver's side was rolled down, and the radio was still on. But there was no sign of David or Robin anywhere. And 2 days after that, on September 23rd, a person walking the shoreline discovered their bodies, because both had washed up with the tide about 100 feet apart from each other on the beach. And Robin looked to have been shot once in the back of the head, and evidence indicated she actually had been because she had been found with her clothing partially removed and her jeans were unbuttoned, and her bra had been pushed up around her neck. And David would be found shot twice, once in the shoulder and once in the head. And the shoulder wound suggested he may have attempted to flee, and he likely turned away from his attacker before being struck. And in a stroke of unfortunate timing, a heavy rainstorm had passed through the area on the night they died. So investigators found that most of the evidence found at the scene had already been washed away. So again, any tangible evidence at this time was lacking, and there were no suspects. So Richard Keith Call was 20 years old and studying computer science at Christopher Newport College. And his sister Joyce would describe him as someone who really enjoyed life a lot and was just fun to be around. He was passionate about computers, and he even had a Commodore 64 set up in his bedroom. And at this time, Keith was on a temporary break from his girlfriend, and they had been together for close to 4 years, but he had just asked for a couple of weeks apart to sort through his feelings. And it would be during this break that he would meet Cassandra Lee Haley. Now, Cassandra was 18 years old and had just begun her freshman year at Christopher Newport College, and she stood about 5'7" with an athletic build. And she had competed as a gymnast in high school and taught gymnastics to younger students. And her mother, Joanne Haley, later would describe her as very warm and had openness, saying Sandy was unique. There was nobody she wasn't going to be a friend to. She was very generous with everything, unquote. But Cassandra had a fear of water, and she had also expressed unease about the Colonial Parkway. And after the murders of Kathy Thomas and Becky Dowski 2 years earlier, she thought the place felt unsettling. But April 9th, 1988 would be the day of their first date, and by most accounts, this was just meant to be casual. So that evening, Keith picked Cassandra up from her family's home in Grafton, Virginia, and he was driving his red 1982 Toyota Celica. And they would first go to see a movie, and then they would head to a party near campus in the University Square area. And at the party, witnesses noticed they spent time apart. And Keith talked with his own friends, and Cassandra caught up with an ex-boyfriend, actually. It was a very relaxed, fun evening with nothing unusual. And after they had enjoyed themselves, they left the party together sometime between 11:30 p.m. and 2:25 a.m., so very big gap of time. And despite Cassandra's discomfort with the Colonial Parkway, that's where they ended up going anyway. So the next morning, April 10th, Keith's red car was spotted at the York River Overlook in Yorktown, and it was found around 7 a.m., but not reported until 9 a.m. And this location was only a few miles from where Thomas and Dowski had been discovered 18 months earlier. And the driver's door was hanging open, and Keith's keys sat on the seat, and his watch and glasses had been placed on the dashboard, so the arrangement seemed deliberate. And inside the back seat, investigators found most of Keith's clothing, and nearly everything he had worn that night, including his underwear. And some of Cassandra's clothing was there too, along with her underwear. And empty beer cans were scattered throughout the back seat as well. And both Cassandra's purse and Keith's wallet were gone this time. And true crime author Blaine Pardoe later observed a pattern across the cases, saying, quote, "It's almost like a fingerprint to each one of the Colonial Parkway cases. The keys were left in the car, the door was left ajar, the radio was on. They were all set up so someone would see that car and steal the car and muddy the case even more, unquote. But tracking dogs were brought into search because at this point, neither of them were anywhere to be found. But the dogs would pick up a scent leading away from the vehicle, and the trail ran along the parkway past the spot where Thomas and Dowski's car had been found. And it ended at Indian Field Creek, where the dogs tried to go into the water, and handlers had to hold them back. And the behavior suggested a boat may have been involved. So park officials initially theorized that Keith and Cassandra had just gone swimming and potentially drowned, but investigators were doubtful that that was the case, because the water temperature that time of year was around 40 degrees, which is cold as fuck, and a 20-foot embankment separated the overlook from the river. And, as mentioned before, Cassandra was known to be afraid of water, but unfortunately an extensive search of the river turned up no sign of them. And with no bodies, they really had nothing to go on, so the case would go cold. And next, there was Anna Maria Phelps, who was 18 years old. And her family said she had such a great sense of humor, just very sharp and very witty. And she had been living in Virginia Beach with her boyfriend, Clint Lauer, but the couple was struggling to make ends meet, because Clint had recently been let go from his job at Wendy's, and their electricity had even recently been disconnected. But Daniel Lauer, who was 21 years old and Clint's brother, and from Amelia County, Virginia, said that he would move in with them to help with payments. And those who knew Daniel described him as being exceptionally generous, saying he was, quote, the kind of guy who refused paychecks from his father's painting business, unquote. So Daniel had agreed to move in with Clint and cover their expenses, and he also wanted to spend Labor Day weekend with them in Virginia Beach, but he needed to return back to his parents' home in Amelia County to gather his belongings and officially move in. And Anna Maria decided to go with her boyfriend's brother, Daniel, so she could visit her own family back in Amelia County. So by all accounts, it should have been an uneventful trip, but it wasn't. So on the evening of September 4th, 1989, Daniel and Anna Maria left her parents' house, heading east on Interstate 64 toward Virginia Beach. And Daniel drove his gold 1972 Chevrolet Nova, and he had cash on him from recent work he had done for his father's painting company. And the trip should have taken about an hour, but they would never arrive. And witnesses later reported seeing them at a rest area at the eastbound side of I-64 in New Kent County. But what happened after remains unclear. So the next day, Daniel's Nova was found abandoned at the rest stop on I-64 in New Kent County. But something was wrong. The car was on the westbound side of the highway, which was odd because they had been traveling east toward Virginia Beach. So someone had turned them around, and the car sat at an odd angle on the merge ramp, and the driver's window was halfway down with both doors unlocked, and the keys remained in the ignition. But a small detail inside the car caught investigators' attention, because Daniel had a feathered roach clip that he normally kept hanging from his rear view mirror, but it had been moved to the driver's side window. So the repositioning appeared to be very deliberate, and some investigators saw it as a taunt from whomever had taken them. And dirt and grass were caked underneath the vehicle, which made it look like the car had been driven off-road recently. And Daniel would have had no reason to leave the highway. And Anna Maria's purse was still inside, once again ruling out robbery. So at first, investigators speculated that Daniel and Anna Maria had simply run off together, and for 6 weeks neither was found. But finally, on October 19th, 1989, hunters walking along a logging road made a discovery less than a mile from the rest stop. And the discovery was skeletal remains in that wooded area covered by an electric blanket. And the blanket had come from Daniel's car. But decomposition had destroyed most of the physical evidence, which unfortunately made it so the exact cause of death could not be determined. And whether Anna Maria had been SA was also impossible to establish. But one finding stood out. Stab wounds were visible on Anna Maria's bones, because she had a cut mark on one of her finger bones, suggesting she had fought back against her attacker. So whatever happened in those woods, she did not give up without a struggle. But years later, investigators would discover a note Anna Maria had, and it had been her apartment, overlooked during the original investigation. The note described plans to meet someone at a rest stop, and it included a name and mentioned the person would be driving a blue van. And how this detail connects to what happened has never been explained. And by
Oh my
September
god, I'm
1989,
tired.
these 8 young people had... So yeah,
Uh,
this van just like years. At this point, who's responsible? Let's take a pause to talk about something that has saved
oh my god.
things. And that is, it's really so ships from the 1990s.
Oh god. I have a 5-minute break. And I'm taking that 5-minute break. Ah! My brain is just all over the place. So, y'all will take this time to get your food, to get your snacks. I am certainly going to get something to drink. Even though I have coffee here, I'm just gonna, not coffee, tea. And then we'll go back into writing. So, and we'll be right back. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Let us switch games now. Because I don't feel like doing any more work. Okay. Oh shit. Save. Welcome back, Triple. Welcome back. We were just starting a new game because I want to do a new game. I want to play games. My model is broken. No. There we go. My model is working now. Yeah, my model is being a bitch to me. Come on. Okay. Hello? I was not speeding in it. Now. Why? Anyways, welcome back, Triple. How was the drive? Ooh. Now, to preface, this is a demo. The full game is not out yet. So, have fun blasting music. That's good. That's good. At least you had fun. At least you have fun. Whew. I had to get water. I had to. And I was just like feeling drained. I don't know why. I don't know. For those who are over there on my YouTube, how y'all doing? Y'all having fun? Good. Y'all having fun. I am getting hit pets. Certainly I wasn't on Twitter, just vibing, just on Twitter, doom scrolling before I went to get my water. I'm actually really hungry. And I want to make something to eat. Also, this. Yeah. I want Fears of Mysteria, but it's on my wish list, but. Man, I don't even know if I can. Right? Like, I have no motivation to write anything. So I might have to put that game, but I've been putting it off since I started it. And I shouldn't be doing that. So I gotta finish. If I could finish this route, and it's only the date, going on the first date scene, and then I can just cut it to them doing something like flirty or Because there's two routes, a floaty route and the spicy route and the non-spicy route. So, why is this game not opening? Hello. All of a sudden you're not opening? What the heck? There we go! Wait, I think this is Steam opening. Yeah. That's the one to open right now. Fuck. Stop. Confirm. When is there not scuff in my streams? When is there not? I owe my food. I'm glad you had something to eat. Like, I'm glad. Hello? VTuber equals scuff included. Yeah, pretty much. You can't fight it. You can't. Ugh. I'm sorry, I'm just hydrating. I need to hydrate. But the game is not loading. What is this? Scuff? Look! Another friend. Wait, what? Oh god. I just got a jump scare. Hold on. Oh my god. Okay. Another friend I was watching had so much scuff today. The first hour was crazy. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, scuff. Like, this game is not opening for some strange reason, and I think it's because of Steam being a bitch to me. And I'm just like, come on, Steam. we. It's not loading. It's not opening. I don't know what's going on. Maybe because I haven't played the Steam game in so long. Oh my god. I got a jump scare so bad. Oh my god, I wanted to play this on stream. Ugh. All of a sudden, Steam is being a bitch. Steam won't open now. The game that the game is on, it won't work. It won't open for some strange reason. Some strange reason, I don't know why. It's not opening. Okay. How about this? We'll play the demo tomorrow because this is pissing me off. So if that won't work, doesn't matter. Let's see who we could raid today. Because oops. Tired of closing it up. Yeah. I am fucking tired. I am very fucking tired of it. I just wanna let's see who we could fucking raid. Also, Triple, thanks again for the biddies. I hope I just want to thank you, man. I just want to thank you. Thank you. Evil. You know what? I haven't raided Killian, this person, before. Yeah, they're playing DBD. So we're going to raid into this person. I don't know how it will go, but we'll see. This is the raid message. Please remember, be nice. Triple! What the fuck? Triple, why? Why are you like this? Ah! Did you just Oh my god. At this point, I about hit my goal for $20. Oh my god. Why isn't this shit working? Hello. There we go. And this is for the normal people who is not subbed to my channel. 42. Copy. And thank you all for joining in this short stream. I'm so sorry it was short, but I didn't feel like streaming today. But I had to do it. I love you.